Welcome back to Movie IQ, where we count down the boldest, most talked about love stories in cinema. Today we're diving into 5 films the world can't stop debating. Relationships where the woman is older, the man is younger, and the chemistry refuses to play by the rules. If stories like these hit different for you, hit subscribe right now. You do not want to miss what's coming next on this channel. From a French romance that breaks every rule of acceptable love, to a Mexican rom-com that turns a fake son lie into real heartbreak, to a forbidden Polish affair that nearly tears 2 families apart, these are 5 movies, 5 countries ranked from highest IMDb rating to lowest. And trust me, if you've ever wondered whether age really is just a number, subscribing now means you'll be here the second we drop the answer. Let's get into it. Number 5 is the one critics called messy, but audiences could not stop watching. Olga is a respected judge, successful, composed, recently widowed. Then she meets Max, 15 years younger, a free-spirited daredevil who lives entirely in the moment. If forbidden romance with real consequences is your genre, subscribe right now, because this story gets a lot more complicated before it gets better. Their connection is instant. Paragliding, beaches, a passion Olga thought she buried with her husband. But there's a problem neither of them saw coming. Max already has history with Olga's daughter, Maya. The moment Maya realizes who her mother is falling for, she sets out to destroy the relationship, using every secret she has. Love triangles rarely get this personal. Hit subscribe now. This is one you want in your feed the moment the next part drops. IMDb rating 4 out of 10, but don't let that stop you. Some films aren't loved by critics. They're loved by everyone else. Number 4 on the list, which is the direct sequel, and it picks up exactly where the chaos left off. Lou and Javier are a real couple now. No more lies, no more cover stories, just 2 people trying to make an age gap relationship work in a world that won't stop staring. If you've ever been judged for loving the wrong person, subscribe now so you don't miss how their story actually plays out. The cracks start showing fast. A confident younger woman reignites old chemistry with Javier. A persistent older man starts pursuing Lou. And underneath it all sits the question neither of them can escape. Is this real love or just the thrill of doing something forbidden? When Javier finally has to bring Lou home to meet his traditional family, the pressure boils over completely. This sequel topped the Mexican box office for a reason. Subscribing means you'll catch every twist the second we drop it. IMDb rating 5.6 out of 10. Love tested by everyone except the 2 people actually in it. Number 3 takes us to Mexico, and it starts with one of the messiest lies in recent rom-com history. Lou is in her 40s, stable, conformist. Then, in one single day, she finds out her partner of 15 years has been cheating, and her whole identity collapses with it. If betrayal to redemption stories hit you in the chest the way they hit us, subscribe now, because this one builds to something nobody sees coming. Desperate for a fresh start, Lou lies her way into her dream job, claiming she's a stable mother with a 19-year-old son. The problem? She doesn't have one, so she strikes a deal with her actual neighbor, Javier, 23, a reckless party boy who agrees to pose as her son for one weekend. What starts as a scheme turns into something neither of them planned. Real feelings, real tension, and a connection that has nothing to do with the lie they started with. This is messy, funny, and weirdly tender all at once. Hit subscribe before the next clip, because we're breaking down the sequel too. IMDb rating 6 out of 10. Proof that the best love stories start as the worst ideas.
Number 2, and this one comes from Indonesia, and it's the perfect bridge between heartbreak and second chances. Arini is 38, sharp, guarded, and done with love. Her marriage left scars she spent years trying to outrun. On a train somewhere in Germany, a stranger sits across from her, Nick, 23, a backpacker with nothing to lose and somehow already falling for her. If you've ever met someone at exactly the wrong moment in your life, subscribe right now, because what Arini does next will either frustrate you or break your heart. She shuts him down hard. But Nick doesn't disappear. He drops his studies in London and follows her all the way back to Indonesia, refusing to let one train ride be the end of their story. As Arini steps into a high-powered new role back home, Nick keeps showing up, forcing her to face the one thing she's been avoiding: her ex-husband, her best friend, and the version of herself she buried after her marriage fell apart. This is a remake of one of Indonesia's most beloved romance novels. Subscribe now so you're here the second the next one hits. IMDb rating 6.3 out of 10. Proof that sometimes the person who refuses to give up on you is exactly who you need.
Number 1 tonight comes from France, and it might be the most quietly devastating film on this list. Shauna is 71, a widow, an architect, a woman who built a life so full she convinced herself love was finished for her. Then Pierre walks back into her world, a man she barely knew 15 years earlier, now 45, married, a father, an oncologist with a steady life he never once thought he'd risk. If you've ever felt a connection so strong it scared you, subscribe before this next part, because what happens between them will not leave your head for days. Their reunion in a hospital hallway should have ended in small talk. Instead, it reignites something neither of them can explain. A pull that ignores every rule society has about who's allowed to fall for who. Pierre doesn't see an older woman, he sees Shauna, desired, alive, undeniable. But Pierre has a wife, a family, a life built on the assumption that this would never happen.
And that wraps up today's countdown of cinema's boldest older woman, younger man love stories. Different countries, one universal truth. Love doesn't check ID. If even one of these stories stuck with you, that's exactly why this channel exists. Subscribe now and let's keep finding them together. We're closing in on a huge milestone, and every one of you watching right now is part of getting us there. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button before you go. The next list is already in the works, and you do not want to be the one who missed it. See you in the next one.